The Fantastic Four are going to be a massive fixture for the next several upcoming years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Reed Richards specifically, supposedly, is going to be a huge part of what Marvel does going forward. And of course, he's played by Pedro Pascal. We've seen Marvel go all in when it comes to the marketing for this, for everything. And I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of seeing Pedro Pascal anywhere. This is on the cover of Vanity Fair. Everyone wants a piece of Pedro. Weird. Like this, by the way, this is for Vanity Fair. You got women's hands on him. You got big black man hands on him here.
What the? Is that's not an AI thing? That's real?
This is from Vanity Fair. This is real. But
the freak, that's gay. Sorry. Am I allowed to say that?
Just when people thought the Pedro Pascal drama couldn't stir up more chaos, boom! It just threw a wrench in the Fantastic Four press tour. This movie was already catching heat from Marvel fans all over the place, and now things have gotten way messier. Fans have been side-eyeing some of the big choices, like casting Reed Richards or swapping out the classic Silver Surfer, Norrin Radd, for Shalabal instead. People are saying, why her of all characters? But here's where things take an even wilder turn. The spotlight isn't just on the movie itself anymore. It's on Pedro Pascal, who's been stirring the pot again with another fiery political rant. This isn't just making waves for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's throwing the Fantastic Four movie into its own storm of controversy. Now, I gotta say, I'm honestly shocked that Disney hasn't cut ties with Pedro yet. Like, seriously? How is he still locked in with Marvel after all these public blow-ups? The dude's been on a roll, hopping from one heated rant to the next like it's his side hustle. But let's be real, the reason he's still getting cast is pretty clear. He's one of those actors who'll jump on just about any big role tossed his way. And we all saw what happened during The Last of Us Season 2 drama. Fans of the original game voiced their issues loud and clear, and Pedro's reaction? Let's just say it didn't exactly calm the waters. People were like, he really said that, when he clapped back at criticism over the HBO adaptation. This whole situation is turning the Fantastic Four hype train into a full-blown PR nightmare. Season 2 flopped hard, no sugarcoating it. And now, just a few months later, here comes Pedro Pascal stepping into the shoes of Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, for the new Fantastic Four flick. Oh, it gets juicier. Just imagine the chaos if this movie bombs at the box office. It's gonna be wild.
Fantastic Four flops. It wasn't good. Hypothetically, how does Marvel move on from that? I know Spider-Man is now coming out before Avengers Doomsday, and people are saying that that's going to be kind of like their safety net, but I really don't think that's going to work. It's already known that Fantastic Four is going to be like such an important and detrimental part to the Doomsday and Secret War story, so if their introduction, for some whatever reason, doesn't land with the audience, I don't get how they can make Doomsday like, you know, the success it needs to be. By the way, I'm not trying to like prey on its downfall or anything. Like, I am genuinely super excited for the Fantastic Four. I'm just being real. Marvel has been doing flop after flop. Thunderbolts was a flop. Yes, it's like a literal fact. So in my opinion, it is reasonable to be concerned that this movie might not be good, or, you know, it just might not perform well. And if that happens, like, what's next? We'd like to welcome back Iron Man, Steve Rogers, Scarlett Johansson, because we can't make anything else work.
Marvel fans are still fired up over this movie, and Pedro is only throwing gasoline on the fire during the press tour. Instead of cooling things down, he went off again with another intense political rant, right in the middle of promoting the film. Can you believe it? So what exactly did he say this time? Well, Pedro dropped this statement that had people talking. Right now, we are living under an administration that feels like it's a necessity to strip away diversity, equity, and inclusion in LGBTQ rights in both film and television. And then he doubled down, saying, and what's the result of this? Well, the answer to that question is the death of cinema. That's not all. He kept going, making it clear how worried he is about the future of Marvel. Pedro said, I think there are so many people out there, even Marvel fans, that are scared right now, witnessing things like DEI getting abolished. And to top it off, he praised Marvel boss Kevin Feige, saying he's proud to be part of a team where people like Feige are not backing down on those important issues. This press tour is turning into a full-on circus. Every time Pedro speaks, the controversy level shoots through the roof. Pedro didn't hold back at all. He straight up said that being part of this Fantastic Four film lifted his spirit. He's proud of how the movie shines a light on gender politics and made it clear that it's going to dive into some serious topics. He even teased that there's a hidden anagram in the film for Marvel fans to crack, something that'll definitely spark some debate.
So I went to the Fantastic Four event in Berlin today. And excuse me if I look like crap, because I feel like crap. I've been on the go since 7 a.m. and I'm pissed because that shit was not a fan event. Let me explain. So even like before the event started, the communication was horrible. Nobody knew if you needed a ticket because there was a site that gave out tickets, but nobody confirmed it. Nobody knew about it. I signed up the first day that page showed up. I was pretty sure it was going to be a data scam, but I was like, it was free. And if I hadn't signed up, I wouldn't have gotten into that event. But nobody confirmed it. Nobody knew if it was legit, not even the people who organized this event.
But here's where things got heavy. Pedro said, "This is the problem right now in our country. We've lost our freedom to express ourselves openly." According to him, people can't speak their minds anymore without being judged or ridiculed by what he called a cult following. That comment alone got people fired up. Pedro admitted that this role, Mr. Fantastic, is the one drawing the most heat in his career. Whether it's about his political views or the fact that he's playing Reed Richards, he knows the backlash is real. But he fired back at the critics, saying Marvel fans should read the comics already. He promised that his version of Reed Richards is actually comic accurate, even if the storyline takes some creative detours. But of course, he refused to spill the details, saying he's unwilling to confirm or deny how far they stray from the source material. Then came another punchy line. He claimed that a lot of the people criticizing the movie are from one side of the country, and that they're blindly following what he called an idiotic administration. And he says this has left so many Americans feeling scared and lost. This whole press tour is sounding less like a movie promo and more like a political showdown. Pedro didn't hold back when it came to calling out his critics. He said straight up, "To those criticizing a film before it even arrives, shame on you." He called out what he sees as a toxic culture where people celebrate failure instead of giving things a fair shot. In his words, "It's sickening." He wasn't done yet. Pedro made it crystal clear that he refuses to tolerate this negativity ruining the movie industry. And yes, he knows people are coming after him because of his politics, but he's standing firm. "I'm an American and I'll speak up. I will voice my concerns and I will not back down," he declared, raising the temperature even higher. Now let's pause for a second and really look at this situation with Pedro Pascal. The way he keeps doubling down on this stuff is wild. He's painting this picture where people across the country are scared and on edge because, as he claims, DEI initiatives are disappearing right before their eyes. And he's clearly got a huge problem with that, making sure no one misses his point. Pedro doesn't seem interested in backing off his comments anytime soon. He also pointed out that Kevin Feige isn't backing down either. According to Pedro, Feige is standing strong on what critics call the typical Disney agenda. But honestly, is this really the kind of headline Marvel wanted during the Fantastic Four press tour? This is supposed to hype the movie, not spark a whole political storm. And just when everyone thought the drama had peaked, boom. Pedro Pascal takes it even further during a recent interview, where he boldly claimed that cinema is under attack by what he called regressive audiences who don't want progress on screen. Yeah, he said that. And the reactions? Explosive doesn't even begin to cover it. Pedro didn't stop there. He went on to slam critics again, saying a lot of them hide behind fake fandom just to push their personal agendas. According to him, if you're mad at a movie before even seeing it, you're not a fan. You're part of the problem. He's swinging hard, and it's turning every press stop into a full-on showdown. People inside the industry are starting to whisper that Marvel might be regretting this casting choice. Some insiders are saying they wanted a star, but they got a wildfire instead. The Fantastic Four promo run is quickly turning into a spotlight on Pedro's personal views instead of the actual film. Now, there's even talk that Marvel's PR team has been scrambling behind the scenes, trying to keep things from spiraling. One anonymous source reportedly said they're doing damage control around the clock and are worried the controversy could overshadow the movie completely. This ain't just a superhero flick anymore, it's turning into a cultural battleground. Fans are torn, critics are clapping back, and Pedro? He's doubling down harder than ever. And just when you think Marvel's problems couldn't stack up higher, guess what? Now, some of the Fantastic Four cast members are starting to distance themselves from Pedro Pascal's comments. Yeah, you heard that right. Sources close to the project say there's a little tension brewing behind the scenes. And not everybody is on board with the way Pedro's turning the press tour into his own political stage. Word on the street is that a few co-stars feel caught in the crossfire, stuck between supporting their castmate and protecting their own careers. One insider even spilled that some actors are trying to keep the focus on the movie, not on personal debates. Can you blame them? This film was already facing uphill battles, bad fan reactions, casting doubts, and now this non-stop controversy. To make things even crazier, rumors are flying that Disney's higher-ups have been keeping a close eye on Pedro's interviews. Some execs are allegedly concerned about how this could hurt Marvel's brand, especially with fans already skeptical about the Fantastic Four reboot. And let's be honest, this isn't helping ticket sales. Fans online are split right down the middle. Some are saying they'll skip the movie entirely because of the off-screen drama, while others are defending Pedro, claiming he's just speaking his truth. So now the big question is, will this controversy drown out the movie before it even hits theaters? Or will Marvel somehow turn this chaos into a win? Stay tuned, because it's getting messier by the day. And it doesn't stop there. Now some fans are digging deep, pulling up old interviews and social media posts where Pedro Pascal shared more of his personal beliefs. And let's just say, people are divided. Some folks are defending him, calling him a real-life hero, while others are blasting him for bringing politics into everything. The internet's in full meltdown mode right now. Meanwhile, Marvel hasn't officially said a word about the situation. Total silence. And that silence, it's only making things worse. Fans are demanding answers, asking if the studio stands with Pedro's views or if they'll try to calm the storm before it sinks the whole movie. Industry experts are already predicting that this press tour will go down as one of the most chaotic in Marvel's history. And honestly, they're not wrong. Fantastic Four should have been an easy win, a fresh reboot, big-name stars, and tons of hype. But instead, the conversation's all about controversy, not the characters. Even some Marvel insiders are reportedly frustrated, saying they just wanted to promote the movie, not start a culture war. But with Pedro doubling down every chance he gets, it's like this press tour turned into a battlefield overnight. Now all eyes are on the next fan event. Will Pedro tone it down, or will he throw more fuel on the fire? Either way, this story isn't cooling off anytime soon. But here's the thing, Kevin Feige isn't exactly backing away from all this controversy either. If anything, they're just watering it down a little to make it less obvious. That's it. Disney's been playing this game with several of their movies lately. Remember Elio? Yeah, they toned down the LGBTQ storyline in that one too, just enough to make it seem like they were pulling back on the DEI message. But it was all smoke and mirrors. Behind the scenes, it's the same playbook. Word is Bob Iger's been calling these shots quietly, making sure Disney doesn't catch too much heat while still keeping those topics in the background. Classic strategy. Now back to Pedro Pascal. He's fully tangled up in all this political drama, and he straight up confirmed it. There is a gender politics angle in the Fantastic Four story. Insiders already spilled months ago that this was one of the reasons the early test screenings flopped hard. People weren't vibing with how heavy-handed the message was at first, And that forced Marvel to rush back into the editing room for some major recuts. Originally, the gender politics were supposed to be a major plot line, but after all the backlash, they dialed it down to more of a side element. It's still there, but now it's in the background, not front and center. And what did Pedro say about all this? He doubled down again. I am who I am. Nothing can change that. He said this version of Fantastic Four is its own thing, and he knows some people will refuse to accept it. But in his words, that's what we had to do to create something original. From Pedro's perspective, and apparently Kevin Feige and Bob Iger's too, shifting away from the source material was the key to making a fresh take on these iconic characters. Whether fans agree or not, that's the battle Marvel's fighting right now. And honestly, a lot of people are saying this whole situation just feels wrong. Sure, every movie's gonna have its changes, but fans can't help but wonder, what exactly are they shifting away from in Fantastic Four? Is it Johnny Storm's story? Is it Sue Storm's character arc? Or maybe something about the Thing? No one really knows for sure yet, and that mystery is making fans even more uneasy. One thing people are already calling out is the marketing strategy. A big complaint? The Thing won't be saying his iconic line, "It's clobberin' time," until the very end of the movie. Can you believe that? Fans grew up loving that catchphrase, and instead of letting him say it naturally, right when the action heats up, they're dragging it out as some kind of slow burn moment. A lot of people are saying it just feels forced instead of fun. And while all this is going on, Pedro Pascal is once again caught right in the middle, getting pulled deeper and deeper into political debates. Fans are saying politics like this don't belong in a superhero movie. They feel like these messages are being shoehorned into the story instead of focusing on what made the Fantastic Four legendary in the first place: family, adventure, and epic battles. The whole vibe around this film feels less like a fresh reboot and more like a battleground for outside agendas. And let's be real, people just want to watch their favorite heroes in action without all this extra noise. Let's be honest, the marketing for this movie hasn't exactly been winning people over. Marvel's still struggling to find the magic that makes Fantastic Four truly shine. Look, I'll admit it. The first two movies from 2005 and 2007, fun, popcorn entertainment. Not perfect, but they had charm. But that 2015 reboot? Man, fan four stick, total disaster. I still call it fan four stick, and honestly, most fans do too. This new movie, it has to deliver. No excuses this time. The pressure's on, and with all this behind-the-scenes drama, the stakes couldn't be higher. But I want to hear what you think about all of this. Drop your thoughts down in the comments. What's your take on Pedro Pascal's role, the changes to the story, and all the controversy swirling around this film? And if you enjoyed today's breakdown, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for even more deep dives into the wild world of Hollywood. Catch you in the next one, and don't miss the next video popping up on your screen right now for more jaw-dropping celebrity drama. See you soon!